Well, well, well. Good to see everybody. Carolina Keith, regular Keith, Professor Keith. We're back. I hope you had a good weekend. Boy, was it ever eventful for the last few days. Let's start with this. Number one, if you need someone to talk to, feel free to DM me. I got the DMs open for the first time in a long time. Don't particularly care to go look in direct messages, but it's been a rough weekend, and I get it. So if you need someone to talk to, if something crazy's happened, if you're having wild thoughts, please talk to someone. I have no problem talking to you. I have been there. I've had those same wild thoughts multiple times in my life. You guys know my story. I've said it many, many times. I should be dead or in jail, but here I am, and I'm blessed as such. So if you need someone to talk to, never take it to that level. Just jump in the DMs. I can give you my phone number. We'll talk it out. Seriously. Fair enough? Fair enough. You have people even if you think you don't. Is that a fair statement? I think it's a fair statement. Now, let's all take a deep breath. And welcome to Crypto Before Dark. If you haven't done so, please go hit like. It costs absolutely nothing, man. We're here to help the people. Oh, hit the wrong button. Whoops. There we go. If you haven't done so, man, listen, subscribe while you're there. If you're watching over on X, if you're watching over on Rumble, our alternative viewing platform, big shout out to you guys. Go repost this so everyone sees it. Don't just hit like. X doesn't work off of likes. X works off of reposts and comments. So if you repost it and drop a comment, that helps out a ton for the algorithm. It's a bit different for your YouTube. YouTube goes off of likes and comments. It's a little bit different. And Rumble, similar to X. All right, Rumble is similar to X. If you repost and you hit like, drop a comment, it helps out a ton. Thank you all for being here. So let's get into the, am I doing that on or off? There it is, it's off. And my camera quit. There we go. Let's get into this. First and foremost, we talked about this on Thursday night. I warned you guys Thursday night on our first late night stream in a very long time. And the thumbnail even described it very well. Warning shot. Warning shot, right? Be careful here. Things could get dicey. And boy, did they ever get dicey. You can blame it on what you want to blame it on, right? We can play the narrative game. Everyone loves to throw a narrative into the pond and hope they catch the fish. That's not what I do. You guys know I'm all charts all the time. It's not me guessing. It's not me feeling. It's not me hoping. It's not me wishing. It's just charts, right? I cannot say that enough. I say it, and then some people come right back at me with their feelings. And I'll just stop talking at that point and back away because I know I'm not going to get anywhere. I learned many years ago not to argue with someone who cannot have their mind changed, has made their mind up, and they have flat concrete walled you. Fine, I'll let you be. I quit trying to change people's minds a long time ago. You know what I mean? And while we may have some impressionable minds watching right now, if they are listening and they are watching, please hear me out. This can still get worse. What you see on the charts can get worse. Do not think you're out of the water. Do not think because it happened that it can't happen again or again or again. Because I was a fool to think the same thing back in the day myself. Okay? I've already lived that foolish life, and I come on here and do this so that you guys don't make the same mistakes that I've made in the past, right? Love me or hate me. I put it all out there for you guys to see. My wins, my losses. Losses have been more than wins in 2025, big time. I want you guys to think back a little bit to when I first started doing this in 2019. It was losses in 2019, then wins, 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 now losses. But we're already winning again, and I'll go over a little bit of that on the stream, okay? First and foremost, I got Bitcoin pulled up. The green dash line that you see right here at the bottom was our longest long position, the heaviest long position. That was about 107 and some change, okay? I didn't think that we were going to get down there to that level that fast. You can even go back to the stream on Thursday and hear me say it's a possibility, but I don't think we're going down there. Snap your fingers, it went straight there. Now, luckily, I had already started selling before that, and I even told you guys on the stream, I've started selling. Friday, before it got really ugly, I sold some more. And if you don't believe me, feel free to jump over in the Discord and take a look for yourself. It's free for the first month. The link is right there. You can look and then leave if you want. I don't mind. It's free, right? So I thought this might happen because we've been down this road before. And I remember multiple times back in 2019 and I think 2021. No, it was 2020 and 2021. 2021, I remember where I was sitting. I was beside a chiller because at the same time I was doing HVAC work back then while I was doing the streams. And I would just work from my phone constantly, which is really difficult. But I remember sitting beside a chiller at a certain high school. I was working on this chiller and my phone started going off. Woo, woo, woo. I had it in my pocket. I always kept my phone in my shirt pocket up here because you do HVAC work. You have two shirt pockets. My right shirt pocket, that was the right shirt pocket. That's where I kept my phone. The left shirt pocket was for ink pens, screwdrivers, etc. because you always need a quick screwdriver to grab in your pocket when you're doing HVAC work, believe it or not. So my phone was going off like crazy. Another thing you learn when you do HVAC long enough is you carry a bucket with you everywhere. Flip that bitch over and it's the perfect stool to sit there and take pressures, do readings, do delta T's, etc. right? So I'm doing my work and my phone starts going off and I open up my phone and it's minus 40, minus 50, minus 60. And the biggest lesson that I took from that was, because I lost like $15,000 that day, the biggest lesson that I took from that was no more big leverage. Not only no more big leverage, but no more keeping that much money in the wallets anymore. Nope. If I'm going to do leverage plays, it's going to be with a minimal amount of money in a wallet so that if I lose, I only lose that minimal amount. And to speak on that, you guys in the Discord know when I do live trading on Thursday mornings, go look at the wallet. There's only a couple $100 in there. You can see it right there on the screen, plain as day in front of everyone. I'm only going to risk a little bit. I am not going to be the fool who takes a bunch of money and puts it in liquidation zones. It's such a terrible idea. It's such a terrible idea. I preach against it all the time. I come on here because I am the common man. I'm nobody special. That you should probably be doing spot and should probably stick to the daily and higher time frames. This is why you don't see me going down to 5-minute time frames, counting candles, doing a bunch of candlestick chart patterns and everything else like you see a lot of streamers do. That's not me and it never will be. I'm going to stick to the simple stuff. Why? Because for what it's worth, don't get offended. We are all simple people. Most of us are not engineers. Most of us are not rocket scientists or doctors or lawyers. We're just regular people going about our day who are trying to make it a little bit better. And that's where I come in, right? So I got this liquidation level got hit. What do we mean by liquidation levels? Well, here you go. This is coin glass. I'm going to refresh this so we get a fresh look right here because it's moving right now behind the scenes. What you see in yellow and orange are liquidation zones. What does that mean? That's where the most bets were taken in either direction. On the right, these are shorts. On the left, these are longs. How many longs and shorts? Well, in the last 24 hours, 86 million worth of longs. That sounds great, doesn't it? Until you look at the shorts. $1.38 billion. So there is 8x the amount of shorts as there are longs. Hefty gambling going on right here. If you think they can't get wiped out, you're wrong. Now the orange is 100x leverage. Absolute 100% degens.
Damn, come on, man.
Not going to listen to me. They're going to do what they want to do. They can be
Wrong.
all they want. Not on me. Yellow, 50x degens.
Bruh.
Will you ever learn your lesson?
Wrong.
No, they won't learn their lesson. They'll just keep on doing this until they have nothing. It's a lesson that I preach against specifically because I've already been there. You can see the big spikes. These are where the most shorts piled in and the most longs piled in. Those spikes are potential targets. Note that all those spikes kind of group together, don't they? See that right there? There's like a grouping of them around each spike, right? That area becomes a confluence area. How far back does it go in either direction? How far down and how far up? To the downside, 1079. That is the green line that you see right there. 1079, 108, right? That's the same line that I drew already. We went down there and shot this wick down and popped right back up. That lets you know it was a liquidation event. Had it stayed down there, well, that's not liquidation, that's bear market. But it didn't. It jumped right back up. You can blame whatever reason you want to blame for why it happened or how it happened. Again, that doesn't matter to me. Liquidation event nonetheless. Going back to the liquidation chart. 1079 is to the low side. Well, what about to the high side? Well, that's over here on this end of the scale. And as you see right through here, we're about 118 and some change to knock out all the heavy leverage. Now, there are other leverages in purple and blue. Those are 25 and 10x each. Much, much less degenerate. But you can see they start to blend in together here. And that's usually about those areas where the targets happen, right? To the downside and to the upside. That doesn't mean they'll happen. It depends on the trend, whether they're going to happen or not, but they are targets. So it's 118 and 108. To the chart we go. We've already got our 108 level marked. Where is 118? 118 is way up here. We have not hit that level yet. And I'm going to drop down to the low time frames so that you can see that. With all this talk of liquidation and all this talk of leverage and stuff, it's important to know what it is, right? All these red lines up here are shorts where they came piling in and jumping in. Now we've created some new ones right here overnight. So I'm going to draw that line right there. And that's our new liquidation levels, which are about 116. Let's go look at that liquidation chart and see if that's accurate. 116, that's 113, 114, 115, 115 and some change, 115 and a half, 116, right about here where these yellows and oranges are. So sure, a lot of shorts came in right there. There's still a heavy, heavy number at 113.9 or 114. That's that big spike. But we have a bunch going all the way back to 118. So definitely a short level there. Now, will we hit this level? Well, if we do, what would that be? And this is where the charts come in. If we get above this last high, that would be a higher high, and a higher high and a higher low together make a uptrend. You got it. We haven't had that yet. It's close, right? You could argue that we got a higher low right here. Great. So prove it by giving me a higher high. Problem. We are still under this trend line headlong. Headlong. So could we have more liquidations come in? Abso-damn-lutely we could. And as a matter of fact, let me draw in the other side of this. So 111.5, 111.6 is this spike up right here. And then 109 is that spike up. So let's draw those. 111.5. That's 111.8, 7, 6, 5. So right about there. We'll grab our trend line. 111.5. And those are longs. So we'll do those in green. Right there, we'll click green. That's our first liquidation level. And 106.5, I think I just said. No, what did I say? 16, hell, I can't remember. Let's just go look. 108.9, 109 level, and then 116. All right. So, yeah, I mean, I could draw a bunch more in there, but I don't want this to get super messy. 110.5 and 111. 110.5 and 111. 110.5. So that's going to be right about the bottom here. So I guess I can draw that in. Right about right there is our other liquidation. So that's our downside risk. And this is our upside risk, right? So if you're a bear and you're betting against this, getting up here, spooky. If you're a bull and it starts to drop back down to this level, well, that's where liquidations are coming in. Any new lows, anything below this level where it closes and doesn't just throw a wick like you see back here. We don't want to see just wicks. Just wicks are liquidation events. But if it closes down here, oh, we're going farther. If it can hold the line above these zones here, then we have a possibility to attack the trend line. But things have to fall in place for that to happen. This will not be the way you want it, okay? Got to suck it up and deal with it. This is the repercussions of a big fallout. It's a recovery effort. We're still in recovery, which brings me to my next point. Did anyone get to take advantage of this incredible fall? I did. Yes, I sold on Thursday and Friday. Why? Because the charts were telling me to sell on Thursday and Friday. I managed to move out of a bunch of altcoins right before it got bad. Then, as I got up out of my chair, went and got my kids and came back, charts were going mad. I already told this story in the Discord. It was insane. I came, sat down beside the wife. My phone's going nuts. I try not to look at it when I'm sitting around with the wife, try to give her some respect. Pull out my phone and we're down 50, 60, 70, 80%. Immediately, I got an adrenaline dump. And I know most people get scared when this happens. And what did I do? I got an adrenaline dump. I immediately was like, ooh, I got a chance to buy. What did I do? I jumped my ass over on the exchange real quick. Pop. What happened? Nothing. Why? Because the exchanges weren't working. Right. Tried Coinbase. Nope. That didn't work. Tried Kraken. That didn't work. Busted out KuCoin. That didn't work. MEXC. That didn't work. Binance US. That didn't work. It took about a minute or two before I kept going and going and going before I finally got logged in. Got logged in, doing great. I got several tens of thousands of dollars worth of stable coins to buy with over here. And I'm going, whoo, let's go. I placed my orders. No liquidity. None. $100 order. Nothing. Nothing. So what that told me was this was a clean, flat out wipeout. And the oracles inside the exchanges couldn't keep up. So they just shut down and didn't know what to do. They needed to be hard reset. And to some point between that moment and when I actually got my orders in, the reset happened. That must have been that 30 or 45 second window. Because right about then, it popped up. I saw charts start fluctuating a little bit smoother and they started to iron out and not be so jumpy. And I was like, oh, okay, things are leveling here. I got an opportunity. So I jumped in. I bought Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Wormhole, AVEX, Solana, Python, Ray, CRV, fast as I could. The problem was some of them still didn't fill my orders and some did. So I didn't get the incredible discounts that I wanted, but I got some pretty damn good discounts. And let's talk about those now and why I did it. Again, Bitcoin, I only got about 111. I didn't get the sale of the century like I wanted. It just wouldn't fill my orders. I saw 108, 109, 108, and I'm hitting buttons and that shit's just going, phew, 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 phew. You know what I mean? And you all probably experienced the same exact thing. You couldn't get your orders in, even if you were there to get the order in. Shout out to everybody. Shout out Covey. What's up, my guy? What's up, Rob? How's who's? Your losses would have been bigger if you had not walked the walk. Exactly. I've been wrong here and wrong here and wrong here and wrong here and wrong here, and they've all been little loss, little loss, little loss, little loss. This time it would have been a huge loss, and I was able to go, nope, bye, and they all became big wins, right? Steve Loop, good to see you. Tip Top Whale, what's up? Just a tip. Brian Blue, thank you for being here. Go Panthers. Crypto Big D, shout out to you. Over on Rumble, Mr. XR Femi, shout out, brother. I think your thing didn't go through on WAP, by the way. I had it paused. That's all good. And if you're watching over on X, shout out Ripple Van Winkle. He's on here watching. Appreciate it, my guy. Shout out Matt. Shout out Grant. Done1XRP gave us a repost. Shout out to Matoshi. And anybody else who's watching up. Philip, what's up? Appreciate you guys. You guys give it a repost if you're still watching. I big appreciate it. We're up to 600 people already. That lets me know people want to know. People are asking. And by the way, we've got some good buy pressure going on today. Even though we had that very, very nasty rollover, we do have some good buy pressure. And here's that rollover reason, in my opinion, right? We smacked dead into those exponential moving averages and moving averages. We tried to jump back over the 50 and the 100 moving averages, and we got flat rejected so far. And I kind of expected this. We're trying to recover too quickly after that very quick fall. It's going to need some time to rock back and forth and find its footing here, all right? I think we're still working on finding our footing. That brings me to Ethereum. I watched Ethereum go wild. I jumped in there trying my best to buy. I did manage to get a $2,500 buy-in, but that was 4 buys combined just to get that buy. Typically, you can go on an exchange and buy $20,000, $30,000 worth of Ethereum and the price won't even move. Here's me placing $300, $400 buys, and that bitch is going pew, 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 over and over again. It was like fighting a war. So managed to get that buy done. Bitcoin, I'm only up a couple percent. Ethereum, I'm up about 10% on that one. Here comes the big winners, right? XRP. I already had a bunch of XRP. I did manage to sell some before it fall off. I only sold half. That's the worst part. I could have sold it all on Friday, but I didn't. I sold half. Boom, this thing takes off and goes south. I think I saw minus 63 or minus 68%, something like that, silly. I'm like, ooh, here we go. So what did I do? I got silly and placed a $10,000 buy order on XRP. I placed it right down here at $1.80. Guess where it closed? $1.96. 26 cents of slippage is massive. Had I got my $1.80 buy-in, which didn't happen, I'd be up 40%, not more than that. I'd be up, 40% so far on that buy. Didn't get that one that I wanted. Instead, I got it at $1.96, and I'm up about 27% in the last couple days. Big winner there for XRP. It gets better. Wormhole. Sold some of this, didn't sell enough. So went ahead and bought the best buy I could get. There was almost no liquidity on this thing, and it went down 80-something%. This was the other problem. While there was liquidity showing up for Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and others, it didn't show up for Wormhole. It took a while for this one to come in. And these wicks look like buy wicks. They're not. That was just the exchange resetting. Those wicks don't count, and we're left to wonder exactly how far they went. That's the sucky part behind the data of this. We're left to wonder a bit, and I hate that shit. I don't like being left to wonder. I don't like numbers being played with. That pisses me off. So anyway, I'm only up a few percent on this one. 25%, better than I thought. Big winner right here, AVAX. I'd already sold half of my AVAX beforehand. It drops off precipitously. I got this AVAX buy at minus 70%. It was minus 73 when I was doing it. My buy order of $1,500 moved this thing 3% on the exchange. Unreal. I watched it happen, so I know it was true. So far, we're up about 50% on that one. Great. That's $750. Solana managed to sell half of this before it got bad. Got my order in. This one didn't fall off as much as others, interestingly enough. 11% up on that one. Python, I've already sold half after this jump up, but I was up 80% when I sold half yesterday. Right, I got some of my money back and went back to stables with it. Right now, it's up 60% from that buy at the bottom. Radium, I'm only up about 37% on that buy. CRV, I couldn't get the whole order in on this one. I thought it did feel more. Here's another kicker, right? I thought I got $1,000 buy-in right there. How about it only filled like 130 bucks of it and just left the rest sitting there? The exact same problem you guys had when you set stop losses and it went through them and you were like, oh man, I set a stop loss.
Gotcha, bitch.
They don't care. It went right through that shit, didn't it? Well, guess what? I placed a buy order for $1,000 and that bitch went right through it and said,
Bloody fuck you, bloody.
to my $1,000 order, gave me 132 bucks worth of it. So I had to sit around and fiddle and keep trying back and forth before I got it up there. Now that one, luckily, it's up about 25%. I'm right near break even now. This one didn't sell off like I was hoping it did. Again, my order got left behind and it took off on me before I could get it sold. Sucks. So I DCA'd, and the DCA price that I've got now is pretty fair. So I'm going to stick with it for a little bit and see if we get some trend breaks, right? The reason I bring all this up is I want you to know, even in the darkest times, there are places where you can get lucky on your buys, like I got. I sold before it happened and I was able to rebuy. I was not in leverage plays. I was in spot, which is what I beg you guys to do. If you're going to do this, stick to spot. This is all so risky. Non-financial advice. Go do your own thing. You see me telling you what I'm doing, right? Being open and honest about it. I've had a lot of losses this year. Sucks. I've had some wins, but more losses than wins. Finally, these wins are offsetting a lot of losses that I had over the year. Not all of them, but a bunch of them, right? So hopefully if we stick this out, it'll get even better, right? I want you to know there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. As dark as it may seem, that's when you want to attack. When things are bright and shiny and all the influencers are hollering about how great everything's going to be, that's about the time you want to start making a plan to take profits. Is that happening right now, or is everyone running in fear? Exactly. When the running in fear happens, that's when I'm going to step in. And that's exactly what I did. At the worst time possible, I was buying. And that's why I come on here and do what I do. So I had stable coins prepared. I had already told everyone in Discord that I sold, announced it for everyone like I always do. So everyone saw me do it, second guessed me, and that's fine. I expect people to second guess me. It's okay. And then I started getting all the DMs. And that's why I said what I said at the beginning of this stream, okay? If you need someone to talk to, I'm here. And I know you think I won't talk to you. I get it. It's not true. I'll talk to you. I'm just a guy. I'm nobody special. I'm not that influencer who big times people, okay? So, couple TA things. Looking at XRP, she was on support. Problem is she rolled back from support a good bit. I don't like that. And it did go to the next support zone, but I want to warn you, we're failing the 200 moving average. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It needs to get back up over this 200, and I need that to happen in rapid ascension. If you'll notice, there's a very aggressive short-term downtrend line right here that we haven't broken yet. I can drop it down to 4 hours to see it a little better. I don't recommend using 4 hour unless you have the time, which most of you don't. But we haven't gotten over the 821 hump yet while breaking trend. We did get over the 821, but it was under the trend line, risky, right? I want that 4 hour 821 cross, and I want to get it over the trend line. That'd be a lot safer. Then we have to battle through resistance, okay? Is it over? Could possibly be over. Yes, absolutely. That's a realistic possibility. Luckily, I think monetary policy is going to shift. They're going to start printing money and they're going to lower rates. And if that happens, that's bullish for risk assets like we're in. In case you didn't know, we're in a risk asset. Since Friday, your ass knows now. All right. I'm hoping you guys learned valuable lessons from this, because I did back in the day, and no one was willing to tell me what the lessons were. They just laughed at me. And I'm not laughing at any of you guys. I want you to learn these same lessons. 4 hour Bitcoin, got it there for you. Fighting the 8 EMA, hasn't gotten a good 821 EMA and a trend break yet. Already explained that, right? Ethereum's going to be similar. You are over the trend on 4 hour Ethereum though. Look at that. And it bounced. Problem, you're fighting the 821A, and I need 2 closes, not just one. So after this close, I may think about adding some more. This is one of the better ones. It held up pretty well. Look at how it's over the 100 moving average there. Didn't fall off as near as much as a lot of other ones did. And I'm starting to see some green peek up over here. Even though it's a sea of red right now, I'm starting to see some green peek up over here on the right. CME closes in a couple hours, which is the daily close for most of the world. So, hey man, let's volley this back and forth a little bit and give it some time. Solana is another very, very interesting chart, folks. Look at this. So it didn't fall off as much as a lot of others. Fell off, but recovered very well. Bounced the 200 moving average and got right back up over the 100. Dead in the middle of range again. Kind of the same place it was. Not quite, but kind of. So good buy pressure. Has support. A little bit stuck for the moment. You make a decision. I've seen some things change for the positive. And I also want you guys to know before this stream is over, it wasn't just crypto. Boy, did the stock market get punched in the nose also. And this was before. This was before any political announcements happened. That candle was before any political announcements were happening. Closed before any political announcements happened. Now since, look at the SPY, SP 500, big bounce up, right back dead to the middle of the range. NASDAQ had the same shit. Big bounce up, back to the middle of the range. Dow Jones, hey, the same, a little worse, under that trend line. Apple, big fail, still under the 821, so be careful. They're not all great. Tesla, I'm in Tesla, and I'm planning on buying some more. I needed another close over the 8 EMA. I needed 2 in a row. I'm getting 2 in a row, so I very well may use some of my stable coins to buy some more Tesla. I've just been using Tesla as a savings account. I do think Tesla has the possibility to get to $600 in time. Maybe not right now, maybe later, but I want to use it as sort of a savings account. And the weekly still hasn't clipped those inauguration shorts. And for that reason, I think that has a possibility to go higher. And you can see the fib extensions up there that I do think it'll get to in time. If that's the case, I want to take advantage of more than just crypto. I've talked about this for years, fellas. I've talked about this for years, but I want to be in more than just crypto. I want to take some of my crypto money and move it out of this space and into other things. I've already been looking into that. I looked into business acquisitions since 2022. I got ripped off a little bit in 2022 by some people, and I got lied to by some people and manipulated by some people. And I learned a lot about business in 2022. And I learned a lot about what a friend is and what a business acquaintance is, right? Taught me some lessons, very, very difficult lessons. But I didn't tell anybody this, but I almost bought a business last week. It fell through. Would have been a big chunk of money, but I was that close to buying it. I didn't. I was that close though. So I want to move some of this money off into other things. I really, really do. But I have to make a bunch of it first. So I only got 30 minutes for this stream. Why? Well, my son has parent-teacher conferences today, and I did it at an odd time, not our normal 4:20 time like we do it on Tuesdays. I had to do it earlier. My son's parent-teacher conferences start at 3 o'clock. I've got to be there at 3 o'clock, but mine isn't until 3:30, but I have to have my butt in line so that I don't get left behind, and I absolutely have to talk to the teacher. My kid's a straight A student, and he has a B, and that shit's unacceptable, y'all. That's all there is to it. I have college-bound kids, not almost college-bound kids, and that's just how it is in this house. You guys can say what you want, but both these kids will be better than me in life. I refuse to not let that happen. So if you care, if you want to come hang out, learn how I do this, be a part of a community that cares a little bit more. Sometimes there's some people in there that get along, and sometimes we don't. But that's part of men talking it out. You want people on your side that are going to be honest with you? I try my best to be as honest as I can out front in front of everybody so everybody gets all of it. wap.com/team786. There's the link. First month free. Then it's half off as long as you stay around. I appreciate all you guys being here. I really do. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to come here with me. I appreciate that. Over 700 people watching. That's badass. And thank you, every single person that came on. And I want you to know I'm here if you need me again. Shoot me a DM, and I'm happy to try talking to you about it. We can jump on the phone and talk about it. You can troll me if you want, whatever, man. If you need someone to talk to, I'm here. Let's make the best of our todays, the worst of our tomorrows. Can it get worse than this weekend? Yeah, it can, but let's try to make it better. And last but not least, folks, if nobody else told you, Keith will tell you. Keith loves you. Seriously. Got your back. And I'll be here no matter what. Thank you, guys. I'll see you on Thursday. Normal time on Thursday. Shouldn't be an odd time at all. Appreciate you. Y'all be good. Sky's the limit, man. I'm out. Till next time. Peace. Wrong button. There you go. Peace.